My dear friend, sit down with me for a moment. Let's have a warm conversation as if we're sharing tea on a quiet afternoon. I want to tell you something that most people don't dare to say out loud. You see, as we age, many of us start to notice that we no longer feel that strong pull to be around people all the time. We begin to cherish our own company more. We begin to feel a certain peace in the quiet moments and the stillness. And while society might whisper that this is loneliness or sadness, I am here to tell you that this is actually something deeply normal. In fact, it is a natural shift that happens in our minds and hearts over time. Let me guide you through 6 psychological reasons you start avoiding people more as you age, and why this is not only normal, but in many ways deeply healthy. First, as we grow older, our priorities change dramatically. When we are young, we are driven by a deep need to belong, to be accepted, and to fit in. Social approval is like oxygen. But as the years pass and we gather experiences, we start to understand who we truly are. We develop a clearer sense of our own values and what matters most to us. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology showed that with age, people increasingly focus on emotionally meaningful goals and activities rather than seeking new information or broad social networks. Researchers called this socio-emotional selectivity theory, and it helps us understand why we might decline invitations or stop chasing every social connection. We no longer need constant validation. We crave depth rather than breadth in our relationships. You might find that you only want to spend time with a few trusted friends or family members rather than being part of big gatherings. This shift is not a sign of becoming antisocial. It is a sign of emotional maturity. Second, our energy levels naturally decline as we age. This is not just physical energy, but also mental and emotional energy. When we are young, we can stay up late, bounce between events, and chat endlessly without feeling drained. But with time, the nervous system changes, and our tolerance for noise and large groups diminishes. A study conducted by Dr. Sandra Chapman at the Center for Brain Health found that older adults are more sensitive to cognitive fatigue. The brain simply tires more quickly from overstimulation. This does not mean you are weak or fragile. It means your body is wisely protecting its resources. You learn to spend your energy more carefully, choosing peace over chaos. Instead of rushing to every dinner party or neighborhood barbecue, you might find joy in reading a book, tending your garden, or simply sitting quietly and watching the sunset. These moments become more precious than any loud social affair. Third, as we age, we face more losses in life. Friends move away. Loved ones pass on. We encounter illnesses and limitations. These experiences shape us in profound ways. They make us more introspective. We start to value solitude as a way to process our feelings and make sense of life's inevitable changes. A study published in the journal Aging and Mental Health found that solitude can be a positive experience in later life, associated with self-reflection and emotional growth rather than loneliness. It becomes a sanctuary where we can grieve, heal, and find new meaning. You might feel less drawn to surface-level conversations and more interested in deeper connections or spiritual reflection. It is completely natural to retreat a bit as a form of self-care and healing. You are not pushing people away. You are finding space to nurture your soul. Fourth, the longer we live, the more we understand the value of time. Time becomes our most precious commodity. When we are younger, we often waste time without thinking twice. But as we age, we start to measure our days more carefully. We know that each moment is a gift, and we no longer want to spend it on activities or relationships that do not bring us joy or peace. Dr. Laura Carstensen from Stanford University has done extensive research showing that older adults prioritize quality over quantity in their social interactions. This is a natural response to the realization that time is finite. You begin to ask yourself, is this really worth my time? And if the answer is no, you honor that truth without guilt. Avoiding people who drain you or situations that feel empty is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming selective with your precious life energy. Fifth, as we age, we often develop a greater sense of self-sufficiency. When we are young, we lean heavily on others for support, guidance, and companionship. But as the years go by, we learn that we can stand on our own feet. We discover strengths we never knew we had. This self-reliance often leads to a greater comfort in solitude. You might notice that you enjoy your own company more than ever before. You no longer feel the need to constantly be around others to feel whole. A study in the journals of gerontology showed that self-sufficient individuals report higher levels of life satisfaction and lower levels of loneliness in older age. You learn that solitude is not the same as loneliness. In solitude, you find clarity, creativity, and deep inner peace. You become your own best friend, and this is a beautiful transformation. Finally, as we age, we often become more sensitive to negativity and conflict. When we are younger, we might tolerate gossip, arguments, and superficial drama because we want to belong or because we lack the confidence to walk away. But with time, we realize that peace of mind is more valuable than winning an argument or keeping up appearances. Research from the University of California, Berkeley, found that older adults show a stronger preference for positive information and interactions and avoid negative social stimuli more than younger adults. This means you naturally start distancing yourself from people or situations that bring stress or negativity into your life. You might find that you no longer have the patience for toxic friendships or stressful family dynamics. Instead, you gravitate toward relationships that feel nurturing and supportive. You learn to protect your emotional health as fiercely as your physical health. And this is not selfishness. It is self-preservation and wisdom. So, my friend, when you find yourself declining invitations, feeling less interested in large gatherings, or cherishing your quiet afternoons alone, remember that this is not something to be ashamed of. This is your mind and heart evolving in a natural, healthy direction. You have spent decades building a life, gathering experiences, and understanding who you truly are. Now you are allowed to spend your days exactly as you wish, without apology. You have earned this freedom. It is a gift to yourself, a reward for all the years you have given to others. You might wonder, but what if people think I'm becoming cold or distant? Let me reassure you, those who truly love and understand you will respect your choices. They will see that your retreat into solitude is not a wall, but a sanctuary. You are not shutting them out. You are inviting them to understand you on a deeper level. You are showing them that love does not always need to be loud and constant. Sometimes love is quiet, present in the soft moments when you simply sit together without saying a word, or when you think of them fondly from afar. That too is love. Studies continue to affirm that selective social engagement in older age leads to greater life satisfaction and emotional well-being. It helps prevent feelings of loneliness, contrary to what many believe. When we surround ourselves only with those who matter deeply and cut out the noise, our emotional health flourishes. You are not alone in this journey. Millions of seniors around the world feel the same quiet shift in their hearts. It is universal. It is human. So next time you choose a peaceful afternoon walk over a crowded dinner party or prefer reading a good book instead of visiting acquaintances, remember you are listening to your inner wisdom. You are honoring the needs of your spirit. You are embracing a phase of life that is rich with insight, grace, and authenticity. This is not a decline. This is an evolution. It is a movement toward the essence of who you really are. It is a shedding of the unnecessary so you can live in greater harmony with yourself. If you ever feel unsure, remember the countless studies and scientific proofs that back up this beautiful shift. Remember that your feelings are valid and shared by many. Remember that solitude is a place of power, not weakness. In solitude, you hear your own voice clearly, you find your own rhythms, and you reconnect with the deepest parts of your soul. This is a treasure beyond any social praise or external validation. My dear friend, if I could reach across and hold your hand right now, I would remind you gently. You are exactly where you need to be. You are allowed to choose peace. You are allowed to choose yourself. And in doing so, you are writing the most authentic, loving chapter of your life yet. Embrace it fully, without fear or guilt. You deserve it. What are some beautiful ways to enjoy solitude without feeling lonely? My dear friend, today I want to share something truly close to my heart with you. Let's talk about solitude. Not the heavy, aching loneliness that weighs down the spirit, but the gentle, nurturing solitude that feels like a warm blanket on a cold night. Many of us fear being alone, thinking it is a sign of weakness or something to be ashamed of. But in truth, solitude can be one of the richest, most beautiful experiences of your life if you learn to embrace it the right way. Especially as we age, learning to enjoy solitude without feeling lonely can bring deep healing, joy, and strength to our days. I want you to imagine for a moment that solitude is not an empty room, but a garden waiting for you to step inside and discover its hidden flowers. First, it is important to understand that solitude gives us a precious opportunity to reconnect with ourselves. When we are always surrounded by people, noise, and endless demands, we often forget our own thoughts and feelings. We lose touch with the gentle whispers of our own hearts. Research from the University of Massachusetts found that people who regularly spend time alone actually experience higher levels of creativity and personal growth. Solitude allows your mind to wander, to explore, to play with ideas without any outside judgment. You might pick up an old hobby you loved as a child, or finally start painting, writing, or gardening. When you allow yourself the gift of quiet, you find hidden parts of yourself that have been waiting to come alive. Another beautiful way to enjoy solitude is to spend time in nature. There is something deeply healing about walking through a park, listening to birds, or simply sitting under a tree watching the leaves dance in the wind. A study published in Frontiers in Psychology showed that spending time in natural environments reduces stress, boosts mood, and increases feelings of vitality and connection. Nature does not demand anything from you. It accepts you exactly as you are. You do not need to talk, perform, or impress. You just need to be present. Even a small garden or a few potted plants on your balcony can become your sanctuary, a place where you can breathe deeply and feel grounded. You can also enjoy solitude by developing small daily rituals that bring you comfort and joy. These rituals can be as simple as making a special cup of tea in the morning, lighting a candle in the evening, or listening to your favorite music while watching the sunrise. A study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that simple daily rituals enhance feelings of meaning and satisfaction in life. These quiet moments remind you that life is made up of small, precious details. When you give attention to them, you create a sense of peace and purpose that fills your solitude with warmth instead of loneliness. Reading is another powerful way to enjoy your own company. Books become faithful companions, opening new worlds and inviting you into deep conversations with wise minds across time and space. Research from Yale University found that people who read regularly live longer, healthier lives. Reading stimulates the brain, reduces stress, and helps build empathy. Whether you choose novels, poetry, history, or even cookbooks, each page becomes a doorway to new adventures. You are never truly alone when you have a good book by your side. Mindful movement is also a gentle way to embrace solitude. Practices like Tai Chi, yoga, or simple stretching help you connect deeply with your body. You learn to listen to your breath, feel the gentle rhythms of your muscles, and appreciate the quiet strength within you. A study from the University of California showed that mindful movement practices improve mood, increase feelings of self-compassion, and reduce anxiety. You do not need a fancy studio or expensive equipment. You just need a little space and a willingness to listen to your body's wisdom. Another powerful practice is journaling. Writing down your thoughts, feelings, and memories can be incredibly healing. It allows you to process your experiences, celebrate your joys, and release your worries. A study published in Advances in Psychiatric Treatment showed that expressive writing improves emotional well-being and helps people gain new insights into their lives. Your journal does not judge you. It becomes a loyal friend that holds your secrets and listens to your deepest dreams. When you write, you create a private space where you can truly be yourself, free from any expectations. Sometimes enjoying solitude simply means sitting quietly and doing nothing at all. We live in a world that praises constant activity and busyness, but there is deep value in stillness. Moments of quiet help reset the nervous system, lower blood pressure, and bring clarity to the mind. A study in the journal Brain Structure and Function found that quiet reflection increases gray matter in areas of the brain associated with learning and memory. By allowing yourself to rest in silence, you give your mind and heart a chance to heal and rejuvenate. Cooking can also become a joyful, solitary activity. Preparing a meal for yourself is an act of love and care. You choose the ingredients carefully, savor the scents and textures, and create something beautiful to nourish your body. Cooking mindfully reminds you that you are worth the effort and attention. Research from the University of Otago showed that people who engage in creative activities like cooking experience greater emotional well-being and satisfaction. Every meal becomes a small celebration of life, even if you are the only guest at the table. Listening to music can transform solitude into a deeply moving experience. Music has a powerful ability to touch emotions, bring back memories, and lift the spirit. A study published in the Journal of Music Therapy found that listening to music reduces feelings of loneliness and increases feelings of connectedness. You might choose classical pieces, gentle jazz, or songs from your youth that bring back happy times. Let the music wash over you, filling the quiet space with warmth and beauty. Above all, it is essential to remember that enjoying solitude is about learning to become your own best friend. When you treat yourself with kindness, patience, and love, you realize that your own company is more than enough. Solitude becomes a rich, nourishing time rather than an empty void. You start to see that being alone does not mean being lonely. It means having the freedom to explore, dream, and grow without interruption. My dear friend, if I could sit beside you and look into your eyes right now, I would tell you that there is nothing to fear in solitude. It is a gift waiting to be unwrapped slowly, one moment at a time. You are not losing anything by stepping into the quiet. You are gaining a deeper relationship with yourself, a chance to hear your own voice, and an opportunity to discover new layers of joy. Trust that in these quiet moments, you are exactly where you're meant to be. The world within you is vast and beautiful, and it is waiting for you to come home.